Yes, brother, can you hear me?
Yeah, good
Please go ahead.
evening, brother.
Yes. I
Bhante.
don't think I can hear you though.
Yeah, because brother Leslie
We can't
today
hear.
engaged with something, so I'm
Good,
helping
good.
him. Yeah, okay. So, so good evening, brother and sister. So today Bhante will be continue with the talk on the sutta study, and I pass over to Bhante. Bhante. Yeah, Bhante. Yeah, invited to give us a Dharma sermon. Sorry, Bhante, can you hear us?
Recording in progress.
All right.
Okay, Bhante, you are
Yes.
invited to give us a Dharma sermon. Okay, thank you.
Yes. Thank you, brother. Good evening, Dharma friends. Once again, welcome back to Monday BMV Sutta study. Welcome to day 18. Today, we will be discussing about the most important aspect of the sutta, especially why the sutta becomes a wheel, a Dhammachakra. Why Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta has a wheel. This is what we're going to discuss today. So before that, we're going to pay respect to the Buddha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tasse bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tasse bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tasse bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. As I said earlier, today we will be discussing about why this sutta, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, has a wheel, chakra. We're going to find out why it is, why the name has it, and why the sutta carries the term wheel, WHWL, or chakra, CAKKA. In order to find it out, we have to go to the sutta. See the text first. All right, so this is where we left out that day. As you can see, Samma Samadhi. Now, uh, the sections about the Four Noble Truths have been already discussed. Now we're going to be looking at Dhammachakra, Wheel of Dhamma. This is going to be, I think, page number 5, PDF, Dhammachakra 54. Dhammachakra, Wheel of the Dhamma. Three perspectives, tiparivaṭṭa, and 12 aspects, dvādasākāra. And you can see from 54 up until, yeah, 117 is the base where we're gonna finish up today, right? Next week, you're gonna be studying from 118, Dhammachakra. So we will be reading one by one. You can see, Idang Dukkhang Arya Satchanti Me Bhikkhave Ubbe Ananusute Sudhammesu. This is the noble truth of Dukkha. Thus, monks, in regard to things unheard before. There arose me vision, knowledge, wisdom, true knowledge, and light. And this first noble truth should be fully understood, right? This is how the information flows down. Before I jump onto certain textual sections of this particular topic, tiparivaṭṭa dvādasākāra or Dhamma, I want to show you the flyer which comes under the 18 notes. This is a flyer which I made some time ago. You can see that the Four Noble Truths in yellow color, and each Noble Truth has to be, I would say, acquired. Maybe the culmination of each Noble Truth has to be done through these three particular, what we call jnanas, steps. We call them tiparivaṭṭa. So each Noble Truth has to be culminated by a bodhisattva, I would say by a sammasambuddha, in three ways. So then it will become 3 multiplied by 4. 3 for the first, 3 for the second, 3 for the third, 3 for the fourth. So multiplied by 12. And pardon me, it's not large enough. Yeah, I can't understand. Is it not large enough to see? Yeah, can somebody come over and come to the front and tell me? I can't hear very well. Well, no problem. It's okay? Okay, great. You have to let me know it's a Dhammacakra. So if I don't know, I cannot understand. All right. So you can, okay, the flyer, you can see the flyer under the notes today. Day 18, you can see the link below for Four Noble Truths in 3 perspectives and 12 aspects. You can click on this and it will take you to the flyer. So what I wanted to tell you here is that you can see, as I said earlier, there are Four Noble Truths. Each Noble Truth is understood by, or maybe culminated, I would say, utilized by, probably acquired by, understanding by the Buddha, Sammasambuddha in 3 ways. That means if you see the number 3 for each Noble Truth, and a Sammasambuddha will, maybe a Bodhisattva will understand the Four Noble Truths in how many ways? In 12 ways. Primarily 3 ways, because each Noble Truth has to be understood in 3 ways, and then as a whole in 12 ways. 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay, it's 12. Now, the question, Dhammacakra. Now, what is your understanding about the Dhammacakra? You can see Dhammacakra in many places, like these Dhammachakras. Let's see. I'm going to show you by sharing. All right. It's different Dhammachakras. This Dhammachakra has some, I would say, has some spokes that have come out. It cannot be a Dhammachakra. It cannot be set in motion. A true Dhammachakra could be something like this. The spokes are within, and it can be set in motion, right? So you have to understand a proper Dhammachakra. And the other thing is, what is your perception about the Dhammacakra part of the suttas, Dhammacakra? What is Dhammacakra here in this sutta? Let me ask you. Anybody? What is Dhammacakra? How have you understood this Dhammacakra in this sutta? I think you have been listening to Dhammacakra Sutta many times. If you go to a local temple during the Vasa time, the Sangha, they have been chanting Dhammacakka Sutta almost every weekend, probably maybe every day sometimes. So what is Dhammacakka here? Where is Dhammacakka in this sutta? Isn't that why you came over here to learn from me? But I'm just checking what you know already. Anybody? Yeah, it is a wheel. I mean, where is the wheel in this sutta? How do we understand this wheel? Huh? So Dhammacakka is wheel. We all understand. There's no question. But where is this Dhamma wheel? How do we relate this Dhamma wheel in the sutta? Did the Buddha say there is a wheel that is called Dhammacakka and it is going here and there? Huh? How do we understand that? Eightfold Noble Path is a Dhamma wheel. Listen. For many people, Dhammacakka in the Dhammacakka Suttas could be a message, maybe the Buddha's discovery of the Four Noble Truths, and then they think that the way how he, you know, uh, spread it from one place to the other place is Dhammacakka. Actually, it is not Dhammacakka. Dhammacakka in this sutta takes its name under tiparivaṭṭa and dvādasākāra. If somebody asks you, how did the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta take its name, Dhammacakka, is from tiparivaṭṭa and dvādasākāra context. All right? And this tiparivaṭṭa and dvādasākāra context of understanding the Four Noble Truth is only, only relevant to a sammasambuddha. Your attaining Nibbana is not through the tiparivaṭṭa and dvādasākāra. You are the beneficiaries of that tiparivaṭṭa dvādasākāra. We all are beneficiaries of that tiparivaṭṭa and dvādasākāra. Now, before I talk about Dhammacakka and tiparivaṭṭa dvādasākāra, I'm giving you some information to understand. Now, there is somebody called Bodhisattva. He self-understood the Four Noble Truths. Thereby, he became the fully enlightened one, Sammasambuddha. Did he stop at that place? No. Then he started his mission. His mission was to give that knowledge with the practice to the other people. In that mission, we were beneficiaries. So we hear from somebody, right? We hear from somebody, maybe a monk, maybe definitely based on that Sammasambuddha. That means our attainment to Nibbana one day is not through the tiparivaṭṭa and dvādasākāra. Let me tell you why. At the end of this section, it is said that this Dhammacakka cannot be conducted by any Deva, any Mara, any Brahma, any Brahmana, by anybody. If nobody can turn the Dhammacakka, then tiparivaṭṭa and dvādasākāra teaching is only unique to a sammasambuddha. Some people think, this is also the way of how we're going to attain Nibbana one day. Tiparivaṭṭa and dvādasākāra. Tiparivaṭṭa means three perspectives. Dvādasākāra means when you multiply those three perspectives by 4, you get the number 12. All right? That means this is specific, this is unique to a sammasambuddha. Why this teaching got, or maybe gave the name Dhammacakka to the whole sutta? When a bodhisattva culminates his practice in becoming a Buddha, he has to particularly, execute 4 actions toward each noble truth. First noble truth, he has to fully understand. Second noble truth, he has to, whatever inside that noble truth, he has to eradicate. That means dukkha samudaya ariya satya, he has to eradicate tanha. As for the third noble truth, he has to realize Satchikanta. For the fourth noble truth, in terms of the Noble Eightfold Path, he has to develop. So there are 4 functions that a Bodhisattva has to deepen, maintain in his practice in order for becoming the Sammasambuddha. Those 4 practices come out of the tiparivaṭṭa and dvādasākāra. Make sense? Right. You might learn a little bit more later. Now, I'm going to do is that I'm going to read a little bit of the text, please. We have to read the text a little bit. Idam dukkhang ariya satchang. Now, as you understand, the text tells us that you already know what the 4 noble truths are. What's the first noble truth? How do we call it in Pali? How do we call it in Pali and English? The first noble truth? Dukkha ariya satcha. In English, we call it the noble truth on dukkha. Yeah? The noble truth on dukkha. You may call it unsatisfactoriness, dissatisfaction. The second noble truth, dukkha samudaya ariya satcha. Translation: the noble truth on the origins of, maybe the origin of dukkha. Third noble truth, dukkha nirodha ariya satcha. The noble truth on the cessation of dukkha. Cessation, huh? Not removal. Because when you remove it, it can come back, right? You can't prevent by removing all the time. Cease, you have to cease it. When you cease it, it won't come back. So the noble truth on the cessation of dukkha. Dukkha has to be ceased. The fourth noble truth is dukkha nirodha gamini patipada ariya satcha. That means the noble truth on the path leading to the cessation of dukkha. Now, we have already understood what they are individually. Now, the sutta gives us a very good dimension of why this sutta took the name of Dhammacakka. It is because of the tiparivaṭṭa and dvādasākāra. When the sutta took this tiparivaṭṭa and dvādasākāra context, then the sutta's, what you call, presentation took a form of a wheel. This contextual teaching of the Four Noble Truths through tiparivaṭṭa dvādasākāra must be set in motion, right? Must be set in motion only by a Sammasambuddha. Now, those of you who might know, might not know about Sammasambuddha, how do we understand Sammasambuddha? We have a couple awakened individuals. The first one is Sammasambuddha. Why do we call him Sammasambuddha? We have Sammasambuddha, Pacceka Buddha, Arahanta. Right? Arahanta Buddha. Not Arahanta, Arahanta Buddha. So who is Sammasambuddha? Someone who became awakened by or without others' support. Self-awakened. Self-awakened. Do we have self-awakened people nowadays? Sometimes we hear, yesterday I feel something happened to me. Maybe I saw some colors, some stones, some rock came to me. There are some people talking about the experience about meditation. Those are fallacies. When you keep meditating, you are entering into a space where you see some still objects, clouds, rocks. Then when that person was to say about a black rock, the other person who was meditating with him was, oh, I didn't see that black rock. Maybe my meditation was not. Actually, those are fallacies, so-called fallacies. Because when you concentrate your mind to a certain level, then you get to see things out of your normal life. Self-aware, right? Those are just some of the very vague experiences people have when they practice meditation without a teacher. Your meditation has to be always followed by, consulted by a good teacher. Good teacher, not those ones who are telling that you will become Sotapan in a month or 2 months in a crash course. It takes time. You have to be patient. Self-awakened one is a samosa. That means he attains the bodhi without the support of any samasa. Then Pacheka Buddha. Who is that? Pacheka Buddha. Pacheka Buddha means there's a difference between Samma Sambuddha and Pacheka Buddha. Now, Pacheka Buddha also attains the same level of attainment, but the problem is he cannot deliver the Dhamma to others. Just because of that, he has been put into that second place of the attainments. Right? When you are an awakened one, you should be able to teach others. What is more important to us? Is it very important that somebody attains Nibbana somewhere without being able to teach Dhamma to other people? That delivery is very important. That delivery. Not everybody can do the same. Sometimes there are very knowledgeable people, but they cannot teach that to others in any field. Very knowledgeable ones. Right? In the same way, this Pacheka Buddha, it is said that he cannot teach the Dhamma in the way how he understood. Are there Pacheka Buddhas at the time of Samma Sambuddhas? How are Pacheka Buddhas appearing in this world? It is said that Pacheka Buddhas are not appearing at the time of Samma Sambuddhas. They are appearing during their absence. Then Arahanta Buddha. Arahanta Buddha means anyone who attains Nibbana is also called as a Buddha. Right? Anyone, even you, one day when you attain Nibbana, you can be called as an Arahanta Buddha. Now, which one is better out of these three? This is where Theravada, Mahayana, Vajrayana problem came. Which one is better out of these three? Every path is better. Okay, good. It depends on which path you can practice. You don't need to pick up only on one, maybe Arahanta Buddha. You can aim for the Samma Sambuddha, Pacheka Buddha. In the worst case scenario, Arahanta Buddha. So, as you can see here, this teaching can only be taught by the Samma Sambuddha. All the others are beneficiaries. We are beneficiaries, you are beneficiaries, anybody who is learning Dhamma from somebody, they all are beneficiaries, right? Monks and all. That's why we have a Pali word called Pacha Samana. Let me type that for you. This word. Pacha Samana. Hope I can make it a little bigger. Pacha Samana. Pacha Samana means, Pacha means what you call monastic, a follower, late followers. Those who follow the Buddha's teaching after he delivered the Dhamma. So we all are followers of the Gautama Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, Pachasam. Now, again, going back to the text, let's see the text. Idang dukkang arya sacchanti. Now, as we understood, some Shakyamuni Buddha says here, in regard to things unheard before, ananussutesu dhammesu. Here, you can say, anussutesu means heard. Ana means unheard. Now, what is happening over here? When the Shakyamuni Buddha showed up at the Rajagaha, Benares. Benares is Isipatana temple. What kind of situation was happening at that time? There were 5 monks, right? We call them 5 monks, 5 ascetics, 5 bhikkhus. What was happening there at that time? Did they happily welcome him into the temple? Did the 5 ascetics happily welcome the Shakyamuni Buddha? Huh? Initially not. Initially they did not welcome. They thought he he fell out of his practice. Now he is coming back to us to get more help. They thought so. But when the Buddha was coming nearer, because of his power, they were compelled to do certain respectful actions. Somebody went to bring some water to wash his feet. Somebody arranged a seat and all that. But still, there was something not happening. They did not believe he is the Buddha. None of them believe that he is a Sammasambuddha. They still he is our old friend who was trying to become the Buddha. That is why the Buddha here says, monks, in regard to the things that you can see here in the text, okay, that's because in regard to things unheard before, there were things happening in me. Chakkung udapa, jnanang udapa, panya udapa, vijja udapa, aloka udapa. There arose in me vision, knowledge, wisdom, true knowledge, light. That means for each noble truth, there arose certain 5 things in the Buddha, Sammasambuddha, Gautam Sammasambuddha. Now let's figure out what are those 5. They have vivid meanings. Huh? Chakkum here, Puppe Anusudha, Dhammesu Chakkum Udapa. Chakku, what is Chakku? Chakku, no, Chakku, basically Chakku means eyes. Does this mean normal eyes? No. Why was there a need to have eyes again? He had eyes, right? He also have eyes. This is called he got Dhamma Chakku, Dhamma eye. This Sammasambuddha says, in regard to the first noble truth, I got Dhamma eye, not normal eye. You all have normal eye. Now that's why the translation is always giving us a hard time. Now, vision. Go to an eye doctor say vision care. But here it says Dhamma Chakku. He got Dhamma Chakku in regard to the person. What is Dhamma Chakku, Dhamma folks? Now, when you see things out of your eyes, you see objects, people, right? But normally when we see things, we are not seeing the true reality. We are always cluttered, clouded by those objects. But when you have Dhamma eye, then you know what they are in their real form. Right? That is Dhamma Chakku. If we have Dhamma Chakku, we can see things as they are. But unfortunately, we see things as we are through our perceptions, through our past experiences. So we're going to apply a lot of things to that particular object. Let's say you had a past bad experience with somebody. When you see somebody similar to that person, I think this person is a bad person. Why? Because you have a perception about the same person. in the past. Actually, he is a very good person. She is a very good person. We don't, but our perception hinders us, prevents us seeing the true reality. That we don't have Dhamma Chakku. Now the Buddha says he got Dhamma Chakku in regard to the first noble truth, which means Dukkha Arya Satya. Then, not even Dhamma Chakku, he got a couple other things. Then, Jnanam Udapati. Jnana. What is Jnana? You can say knowledge, but it's not the real good translation. Jnana. What is Jnana? Jnana literally means knowledge. Yes, but Jnana here means something else, contextual. Do we all have a knowledge about things? Yes, we do, right? Knowledge about life in our own way, knowledge about work, knowledge about different people. But here, jnana means something else. This jnana comes after you follow the Noble Eightfold Path. You can see Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa, Samma Vacha, Samma Kammanta, Samma Ajiva, Samma Vayama, Samma Sati, Samma Samadhi, Samma Jnana. That one. Samma Jnana. You come to the right knowledge. Right knowledge only after following the Noble Eightfold Path. When you follow those eight properly, then you, as a provision of that, as a consequence of that following, you are getting into the right knowledge. All right? Jnana is that. That jnana arose in me, the Buddha says. Now, how many things arose in him? Two. First one, Dhamma Chakku. Second, Samma Jnana. That means what is coming after the Samma Samadhi. That means after the successful following of the Noble Eightfold Path. Okay, not even those two. Then Panya Udapa. Panya. Now, when the Buddha had this Samma Jnana, then he is going to Samma Vimutti, right? Release. So this whole process, what do you call the consequence of this whole process? Now, how many path factors are there now for him? 10. Right? Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa, Samma Vacha, Samma Kamman, Samma Ajiva, Samma Vayam, Samma Sati, Samma Samadhi, Samma Jnana, Samma Avimukti. Now 10. So when he achieves all those 10, we call it the whole nature of the path, which means Panya. So now wisdom also arose in me. Dhammachakku, then Samma I would say Jnana over here, then wisdom, Panya. There are two more. Vijja Udapadi. Vijja. Some people translate this to be, Vijja means science. Isn't it? Science arose in it. What is Vijja? There is a sutta in Samyutta Nikaya called Avijja Sutta. In this Avijja Sutta, Buddha says, how does Vijja rises? How does Avijja rises? That means this is in between Vijja and ignorance and wisdom, actually. Now, first, the Buddha talks about how does avijja arise. When someone has miccha-ditti, wrong view, then what happens? Then that person is going to practice miccha-sankappa, wrong intention. When someone has wrong intention, that person is going to practice miccha. Has wrong action, that person is going to practice miccha ajiva, wrong living. When someone has wrong living, that person is going to practice miccha ajiva, miccha vaya, wrong effort. When someone has wrong effort, that person is going to practice Miccha sati, wrong mindfulness. Wrong mind. When someone has miccha sati, wrong mindfulness, that person is going to practice miccha samadhi, wrong concentration. This is avijja, ignorance. This is avijja. Then, what is vijja? It's true knowledge, the Buddha says. When someone starts practicing samadhi, right view, that person can practice. Definitely, the next thing that person is going to practice is samma sankara, right intention. After that, definitely right speech. After that, definitely right action. After that, definitely right living. After that, definitely right effort. After that, for sure, right effort, and then right mindful. After that, for sure, right concentration. That is vijja, true knowledge. Make sense? Now, vijja, avijja. Now, here, what Buddha got was vijja. Keep in mind, these are not in the notes. I'm just explaining because there are a lot of things to discuss otherwise. I know Dhammachakku, then jnana, samajnana, then panya, then vijja. Finally, aloko. Alo. What is aloko? Alo. Light. Light. Aura, light. There was a light. Actually, when you are transforming into a good person, you are changing some aura. Have you heard from some scientific people who do some researches about uh, some aura? If they can sense you, uh, you are giving, you are creating different auras when you struggling with different emotions. That's why when you are an animal lover, when you're going into a house where there is a pet, the pet can sense your aura. The pet easily goes to you. The pet knows that this person has kindness to him or her. Now, don't worry, if the pets are not approaching, that doesn't mean that you are not an animal lover, right? But those pets can sense about it. Even people, when you are such a person who has lots of loving kindness, they don't know you, but they can feel it when you are in front of them. Do we feel for everybody like that? Do we? Do we feel good when we are dealing with many people, especially about the impression? Not by knowing a lot of things. I mean, just by the appearance. You don't feel that much because because every time when you are going into a different state of mind, uh, a good one or bad one, you are creating an aura from. Definitely, Sama Sambuddha is saying here is that when he is switching onto this, what he call his true knowledge, there was a change in his aura. A light arose, right? And this light not is not even internal. This could also be external. You know that when he became the Buddha, Sama Sambuddha, there were a lot of things happening. There was an earthquake, tremors happening. It is said that deaf people could hear and blind people could see, right? A lot of things happening, right? So it was a huge light internally and externally. All right. There are many things happening like that. So five main things you have to keep in mind because these five things that happen to him come under each noble truth. So please keep in mind Dhammachakku, Jnana means Samajnana, Panya, then understanding the Four Noble Truths according to tiparivaṭṭa and dvādasākāra. All right, let's continue. Tanko pana idang dukkhang ariya satchang pariññeya. Pariññeya. This word is very interesting.
Recording in progress.
The Shakyamuni Buddha says here that in regard to the First Noble Truth, there arose in him these five things. And the function of these five things, which he can say to people, is that parinyeya. He says to all of us that in regard to the First Noble Truth, the function is to fully understand the nature of the First Noble Truth. Now, let's come back to us. Now, we are always talking about unhappiness, I would say birth, maybe aging, sickness, being with people we don't like to be with, separating from the people we don't want to be separated, uh, uh, things don't happen the way we expect, right? Frustration, disappointment. These are kind of things that can happen to all of us, right? At different times. Like it's also a wheel, right? Someone is unhappy today, but somebody else is so happy. And maybe in a month or two, the unhappy person will become happy sometimes. The happy person will become unhappy. So it's kind of a wheel, right? It's also a wheel. So, do we have a certain understanding about these life changes? Yes, we do, right? Now we have a personal understanding about this, but we don't have this full understanding. That is why the Shakyamuni Buddha says, I had to fully understand the First Noble Truth. That means dukkha samudaya arya sanjaya. Actually, when things happen in our life, good or bad things, do we give some time to understand those phenomena, those changes? Let's say you are with people who you don't like. Are you trying to investigate that state of mind, or are you trying to hate those people? What is happening more? Have you ever taken some time to think about what's happening here in my mind about these people? Oh, you are hating, or I don't like these people. Every day I'm going to see them now till they walk away one day, maybe a week, maybe one month, a couple months, years. That means we don't take some enough time to evaluate our negative mental states. The Buddha says, no, you have to give some time. Sometimes we cannot change these situations. We have to, what you call, understand it, right? So even though we cannot fully understand the First Noble Truth, just as the Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha understood it, but we can certainly give some time, give some opportunities to understand our life phenomena at different times. Now, for example, Buddha says, Yam pitchang nalapati tampi dukkha. You are wishing a lot of things in your life, but you are not getting what you expect. Do we all have that frustration sometime in our life? Yes, we do. But what is the immediate emotion, perception that comes to your mind when you are struggling with that? You are unhappy about it, right? But do we take some time to understand certain things didn't come to me, which I expected, but some things happened the way that I expected? If you look at your life, not everything didn't work well, right? Certain things happened the way that you want. Maybe more things didn't happen. So we are not giving some time for us to understand that particular mental phenomenon. So the point that I'm making here is that although a Shakyamuni Buddha or maybe a Sammasambuddha is to understand fully the phenomena of life as we know about the First Noble Truth, but for unenlightened beings like us, normal beings like us, can also practice a similar nature of what you call mental uh, what you call state to understand those life phenomena so that we feel very much privileged by, we feel very much what you call encouraged by this Dhamma teaching. All right. So the function in regard to the tiparivaṭṭa here is what you call function, full understanding of the First Noble Truth. Now let me show you the flyer again. Because in the flyer, you could see something interesting. Because I'm saying tiparivaṭṭa. Now, what is Satchanyana about the First Noble Truth? What is Kichanyana about the First Noble Truth? What is Katanyana about the First Noble Truth? Now, I said here, the function of the First Noble Truth is full understanding. All right. But full understanding about the First Noble Truth has to be earned, has to be acquired in three ways. First, Satchanyana about the First Noble Truth. What is it? What do you think was Satchanyana? If the function of the First Noble Truth is to full understand, then the first thing is Satchanyana. Satchanyana means first what? Bodhisattva should have a knowledge about the full understanding of the First Noble Truth. He should first understand that I have to have a full knowledge of the First Noble Truth. Now, this is simply spoken in our life. Before you want to learn Dhamma, you should have a certain understanding that why should I learn Dhamma, right? Isn't it? Without knowing that, it is not good to go to a Dhamma talk. Why should I do it? For what? That basic understanding about the First Noble Truth's function. We call it Satchanyana. If you see the Second Noble Truth, same thing. A basic, I would say, a knowledge about the First Noble Truth, the Second Noble Truth. Again, a knowledge about the First Noble Truth, Satchanyana. Again, a knowledge about the Fourth Noble Truth. We call it Satchanyana. Satchanyana means Bodhisattvas must have a knowledge, first simple knowledge that I have to acquire this particular understand. Now, with regard to the First Noble Truth, it's full understanding. Second Noble Truth, I have to have an understanding about the eradication of Tanha. That is the Satchanyana in regard to the Second Noble Truth. For the Third Noble Truth, I have to have a realization of the Third Noble Truth, that knowledge. In regard to the Fourth Noble Truth, Bodhisattva should have an understanding about that I have to practice the Noble Eightfold Path in regard to the Fourth Noble. We call it the Satchanyana version of the each Noble Truth. So, what is how do we call this category, these three categories? Tiparivaṭṭa. These are called tiparivaṭṭa. That means Bodhisattva's first activity in regard to the individual Four Noble Truths is to have a basic, I would say, an understanding about that First Noble Truth, the function of that First Noble, each Noble Truth. For the First Noble Truth, it is the full understanding of the particular thing, what is given in the First Noble Truth. For the Second Noble Truth, eradication. Third Noble Truth, realization. Fourth Noble Truth, practice or developing, cultivation. That is what we call by Satchanyana, you can see here. Now, let me ask you a question. Is it clear to everybody? Because if I go to the second, third vattas, you might miss out on those. Is it clear to everybody what I've been explaining to you about the first vatta out of the tiparivaṭṭa? Clear? All right. Then let's go to the second vatta. Tiparivaṭṭa means three vattas. Now, first one is a knowledge about that function, a particular function of that Noble Truth. Now, second vatta. Kichanyana. See Kichanyana here. Kichanyana. 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 What is Kicha? Just because Bodhisattvas know what I have to understand in terms of the Noble Truth, first, second, third, fourth. Does it guarantee that Bodhisattvas can culminate, bodhisattvas can finish the path? No. Now bodhisattvas must know what should be done in terms of attaining, in terms of fulfilling that particular noble truth. That means the duty, maybe the particular activity that a bodhisattva should do. Now, if the first noble truth is about a full understanding, then what could be the role of the first noble truth, which is the second one? It has to be fully understood. First noble truth has to be fully understood. Kichanyana means the role of that particular noble truth. Now, first is the knowledge of that particular noble truth, then the role of that noble truth. The role is the function. I would say what needs to be done in terms of that particular noble truth. That means Bodhisattva understand that I have to fully understand. Now, Bodhisattva keeps following what should be done in order to fully understand. Then he comes to a point, Katanyana. What does Katanyana mean? Now he knows, he already attained that state. He already fully understood. He already abandoned. He already realized. He already developed. What does it mean? A sense of accomplishment. A sense of accomplishment arises in the Bodhisattva. Now, if you take this way, now there is a student. Now, the student completes a degree. Just because he or she completes a degree, he or she will not be able to work. Then the companies ask him or her to show the work experience. Then the knowledge is there. He or she has to get the experience from somewhere. Once he landed on the job, once he or she land on the job, only he or she thinks about, all right, now I am on the job. Knowledge, experience, and then a sense of accomplishment of that. In the same way, you can see in terms of the what you call Four Noble Truths, there is something that every bodhisattva has to have as a knowledge. That's called Satchanyana. First, what of the birth. Second, they have to understand what should be done as a role in terms of understanding that particular noble truth. Once they follow what needs to be done, they attain the Samma Sambuddha. Then later on, they think to themselves, have I already followed all these ways? Then they feel, yes, then they are coming up with a sense of accomplishment about each noble truth. We call it Katta Jnana. Let's go again. Satchanyana, that means a knowledge about each noble truth. Chittanyana means a role, what needs to be done in terms of that particular noble truth. Katanyana means a sense of accomplishment about each noble truth. Now, interestingly, this also gives us a different framework in our own Dhamma path. Now, this is about the Bodhisattvas, Buddhahood. Let's talk about us. Can we create a similar framework in our Dhamma journey? Can we? I think most of you want to be probably a Sotapan, right? Most of you, maybe. Are you? Or are you just Dhamma learners? Every day when there's a Dhamma discussion, you go with a pen and a piece of paper and write down everything and only keep reading what you wrote down. Is this what you've been doing for the last 10, 20 years? Where are you heading to now? Will this only give you the attainment, sense of accomplishment? I don't think so. That means whatever you learn, you have to reflect and then to practice at the right time. What is the right time? What is the right time to practice Dhamma? Is it when you hit 50, 60, 70? When is the right time? Right time is now, not tomorrow, not next month, not 2024. Right? So that means you all want to be what you call attainers. At least you want to be a Sotapanna. Why do we want to become Sotapannas? Because when you become a Sotapanna, you are not reborn in the apayas. You are not going to be reborn in a hell. You will not be an animal. You will not become a peta, hungry ghost. You will not become a demon. You will only spend maximum 7 lives. Then you will be attaining Nibbana. What a good thing, huh? You are getting out of this samsara. That means, of course, we all are willfully wanting to become a Sota. Then, if although we cannot follow tiparivaṭṭa dvādasākāra because it's only for the bodhisattvas, but can we create a similar framework out of satchanyana, kichanyana, katanyana in our own Dhamma practice? Can we? We can. Definitely we can. How do we do that? Let's take satchanyana. In order to become a Sotapanna, do we first need to understand what is Sotapanna? Maybe what is meant by the Sotapanna? Do we need a certain understanding about the Sotapatti or Sotapanna? Yes, we do. We have to read, we have to learn, we have to discuss. We need that knowledge. Then we can call it Satchanyana. Then, just because you know what is a Sotapanna, how to become a Sotapatti, will that make you a Sotapanna? Just because you know it? It will not take you to become a Sota. That means there are certain things that you have to do in your what life? In a retreat time or during a retreat or during a certain Poya day, during new moon or full moon? No, every day. There are things you have to practice every day, not on a one day, not on a retreat. I mean, of course, it's good to practice at those times. So, but if you really want to attain, definitely you have to practice it every day consistently. What is the practice every day? Do we have to wear white clothes and we have to distance everybody? We don't talk to everybody. Is this the practice? No. We have to practice. We have to have a normal life. But in that normal life, we are transforming our mental states into these mental states while we are with other people, while not isolating from other people. For many people, when they want to practice Dhamma, they think we have to go to the forest. Really? Is it a matter of the place? I don't think so. It is not a matter of the place. It is how we going to invest that Dhamma practice in our normal life. Right? May I ask you how to become a Sotapanna? How did you know Sopa? We have to practice 4 things. Huh? Parato Gosa, learning Dhamma, listening to Dhamma, Yoniso Manasikara, wise attention. Then Kalyana Mittas. That means you will never attain Sotapatti when you don't have Kalyana Mittas, right? We need Kalyana Mittas, noble friends. Finally, Dhamma Patipada. Practicing Dhamma, right? According to the situations. What are the things that you have to do in becoming a Sotapanna? 3 things have to be given up. 3 things. What are they? Sakkaya Ditti, Vichikicca, Silabbata. Now, you have this understanding. How we call it? The first, in our own. First, Satchanya. Now, then, once you know that this is how you become a Sotapanna, you are going to become a Sotapanna, you have to understand what should I do in practicing those things. Then, what matters to you at that point? Do the people around you matter to you? They shouldn't matter. They may be different people, but you should know what. Now, when you attain Sotapanna, one day you feel by yourself that I have a sense of accomplishment of becoming a Sota. That means this framework can be applied to a normal person like us, not even to a Bodhisattva. All right, I just wanted to tell you, sometimes you might think this is not for us. Like some people think, Bojjhangas are not for us, they are for arahants. You can't say so. Like these Bojjhangas are well understood by arahants, but they are still the Bojjhanga factors to us. Bojjhanga means the only 7 things that we have to develop. Right? All right, so let's go to the second noble truth in the text over here. Idang dukkha samudayang ariya satchang. Now the text goes to the second noble truth. What we have to learn, I don't want to repeat again. Chakkung udapadi, jnanang udapadi, panya udapadi, vicca udapadi. You know all the, yeah? Then, what is the role? Tankopana idang dukkha samudayang pahatabbanti. That means eradication, I would say, eradication. Or I would say abandoning, eradication. Now there is a small problem. The text says the noble truth on the origin of dukkha has to be abandoned, isn't it? Does that mean that the truth has to be abandoned or tanha has to be abandoned? How do we understand? Now it says the noble truth on what do you call it? The origin of dukkha, which means tanha, right? Craving has to be abandoned, has to be given up. Then is it the noble truth that we have to give up, or is it the tanha? Tanha has to be stopped. Tanha has to be ceased. Okay? This is the role. And then what happens here? Same thing here. Tankopana idang dukkha samudaya pahinantiya. Samma Sambuddha comes to a point that I have already abandoned, ceased tanha, stopped tanha permanently. Then what does it mean? Under the tiparivaṭṭa, what knowledge is that? What is that? Pahinanti. Katanya, sense of completion. Then, now if you go back to the pariññaya, the first one, let's go back to pariññaya. Let me show you. Let's go up again. Here you can see pariññaya. What is pariññaya here? Pariññaya means, this is called kiccana. Kiccana means this one. Second one, kiccana. See? Kitch. Then, if we go back to here, then pariññaya is kiccana. Then here you can see pariññāta. That means katanya, third one. Then, in terms of the second noble truth, pahatabba. What is it? See the first one or second one or third one? Second one, kiccana. Then here, pahinanti means katanya. Katanya means, let me show you on the flyer. Katanya means third one. See? Kitchakata. So they all are gradually followed in terms of the Buddhahood. Then, because of the time, let me go a little bit faster over here. Same thing, Chakkung udapadi, Jnanang udapadi, Panya udapadi, Vicca, Alupa udapadi. Then let's go to the third one. Idang dukkha nirodhang ariya satchanti me bhikkave ubbe ananusutesu dhammesu. Now what is happening to the Buddha here? Satchikātabbang. I understood. I have to realize. This means second one. Kiccana. What needs to be done is to be realized. And then here he comes to the point. Satchikatanti means katanya, sense of completion. He already understood, he has realized the cessation of third noble truth. And then if you go to the fourth noble truth, you can see here, idang dukkha nirodha gamini pati 90, patipada arya satchantime bhikkave pubbe ananusuti sudammisu. Again, chakkum jnanam panya vijja aloko. Then tanko pana idang dukkha nirodha gamini patipada arya satchang bhave tabbanti. That means to be developed. What is this? Out of these three? Out of these three, what is that? Bhave tabbam means kitcha. Yeah, kitcha. What needs to be done? Then you see the kata after that. This is kitchen. Then here, tanko pana idang dukkha nirodha gamini patipadari satchang bhavitanti. Then he finished it. This noble truth of the way leading to the cessation of dukkha has been developed already. This is kata. Now makes sense how the tiparivaṭṭa works in terms of the Four Noble Truths. Satya first, kitcha second, katha third. Makes sense to all of you? Any questions before I jump on to the rest of the text? Any questions? You can come to the front and ask me. Questions are not in your text, you can ask. Because if I don't know whether you have questions, then you might not understand it later. Yeah. Okay, please come on. Can you come a little closer? Maybe I can't hear otherwise. Yeah, yeah, please. Yes. Yes. Yeah, one by one, please. One. Yeah. Okay, that's not a part of our discussion, but I can answer. Yes. Okay. You say metta is to everybody, but merit transference is only to. Okay. Okay. And the other questions? Yeah. Are we going to that point after this? Maybe next day. Yeah. What's your question about it? No, they cannot turn the Dhamma way. Only the Samma Sambuddha can turn it. Now, let's say we have 30 people here. None of us cannot turn it. Only the Samma Sambuddha can turn it. Other people cannot turn it. Not even Deva, Brahma, Deva, Mara, nobody can do that. Only Samma Sambuddha can turn it going. He has to do it first. In terms of the Dhammacakka, Buddha is the highest. Samma Sambuddha is the highest because nobody can do that. Deva, Mara, Brahma, they all are part of the sansara. They all are in the sansaric life. But they have unique other powers. They have other powers. But in terms of Dhammacakka, Samma Sambuddha can only turn it. Ten? Is it 10? Okay. Yeah, we have six serious karmas. 6, yes. What's the question out of that? No, he self-understood it after practicing a lot of paramitas, and he self-understood that part. How many questions do you have? Huh? Okay, last one, because I have to continue the rest of the sections. Yeah, please go ahead. Okay. You mean some other beings? I don't get the question. Can you go again? Sotapannas. Yes. Okay. Yes. I cannot be. If you came across a place, then you should give a textual reference. Normally, he became a yakka. Actually, we call Janavasabha yakka. About him, there's a sutta called Janavasabha Sutta in the Majjhima Nikaya. Uh, Janavasabha says 14 lives. It couldn't be. Janavasabha is the only. Janavasabha only talks about his life as a yakka. It doesn't talk about what happened to him after. Maybe the Attakatha, Pali commentary. Maybe the Pali commentary. Pali commentaries are not always considered to be, we have to explore a little bit more, you know. Those were made by other monks who were after many hundred years of Buddhist time. Okay, let me answer your other question. Your first question, your first question is about, it's not relevant to this, but I will answer it to everybody. When you practice metta, you have to practice, what is metta? Friendliness. You have to practice it all day long, all night long, to everybody. That means metta is not just a small practice. It is a practice where you do it by being friendly to everybody. All right? That is near to you, far to you, good to you, bad to you. It is not something you do in a room in your house. Not even that kind of practice. It is not a practice for 24 hours on, not for 48 hours, not for 52 hours. Metta means you are trying to be friendly to everybody in this universe. Then she asks about the merit transfers. Yes, we initially give merits to someone who passed away in the name of us. But we also say, in addition to that particular Jnati Peta, departed one, may all other departed ones who are expecting good karmas from me, from other people, also receive good karmas. Does it mean, are we going to uh, marginalize the number of people in the transference of merit? Are we? We are not marginalizing anybody in our merit transfer. We are going to give to anybody, but initially to the person who passed away lately for us, because we have to be grateful to that person. But in addition to that, I don't know who was I with you, who was I with in my past lives. Yeah, maybe many millions of people. So I'm going to give to all those departed. So, sister, I think the way you understood maybe the way how the ritual happens after a dana, but how the text asks us to do is to give it to everybody in your life or other people after giving to certain one person, maybe couple people. All right, let's go back to the sections once again. Now, tiparivaṭṭa is clear. Now we go back to the rest of the sections. Now what happens? Yava kivanchame bhikkave imesu chatusu arya satchesu evam tiparivaṭṭam dvādasākāra. So long, monks, in regard to the Four Noble Truths, I turn the Dhammacakka like 3 ways and 12 forms. Let me show you that three ways, tiparivaṭṭa. And here you can see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, tiparivaṭṭa. Dvādasākāra, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now the Buddha is telling us, I understood and I'm going to teach the Four Noble Truths teaching according to tiparivaṭṭa and dvādasākāra. 3 perspectives and what do you call? 3 perspectives and 12 aspects. And then yatā bhūtaṃ ඥāna dassanaṃ na subisuddhaṃ ahūsi. True knowledge, this means that what you call jnana darsana, sammajnana, true knowledge and vision of these Four Noble Truths as they really are was not thoroughly purified for that long months to the world with its Deva Mara Brahma. That means until I understood and I start teaching about the Four Noble Truths teaching according to the tiparivaṭṭa dvādasākāra, the Yatabhuta means the reality of the world, reality of everything was not clear to, was not properly understood by anybody up to that moment. Now the Buddha says, Sassamanam Brahmaniya Pajaya Sadhyamanusa. And now he is going to convince the 5 ascetics. Why? 5 ascetics are still thinking that you are not the Samma Sambuddha. Why? They are still doubtful about his Samma Sambuddha. Now Buddha has to convince them, no, I already attained Samma Sambuddha. Let's see how he does that. Anuttarang Samma Sambodhing Abhisambuddho Panya. I did not claim to have fully awakened to the unsurpassed perfect awakening in this world. Yato chako bhikkave imesu chatusu arya satchesu. But because when my true knowledge, that means what you call, and vision of these Four Noble Truths, that means jnana dassana, jnana, and dassana. Of these Four Noble Truths as they really are. Evam tiparivaṭṭam dvādasākāra. My true knowledge, jnana dassana, turned to be tiparivaṭṭa and dvādasākāra in regard to the Four Noble Truths. Yatā bhūtaṃ jnana dassanaṃ susiddhaṃ ahūsi. Until my jnana and dassana, right? My jnana and dassana, which means my true knowledge and my true vision, did not come to the point that I understood the Four Noble Truths along with the tiparivaṭṭa dvādasākāra. I could not tell this to other people. Now, I understood the Four Noble Truths along with the tiparivaṭṭa dvādasākāra into my jnana dassana. Now, ataham bhikkave sadevake loke samarake sabrahmake sassamana brahmaniya pajaya sademanusa anuttarang samma sambuddhi abhisambuddho. Now the Buddha declares officially. Now the Buddha officially declares, I come to that point already. I come to that point. So I am the Samma Sambuddha. See the translation? Then monks to the world with its Deva Mara Brahma. In this generation with its ascetics, Brahmins, Deva, Manusa. I claim to have fully awakened to the unsurpassed perfect awakening in this world. Jnanam cha paname dasanam buddhapāda. Jnana and dasanam. I acquired the knowledge and vision. Jnana and dasana. What is this jnana? Samma jnana. Then dasana. What is dasana here? Dhammacakku. Dhammacakku. It's dasana. And then akuppame ceto vimuttiya. I got this particular attainment Cheto Vimutti. I think I explained to you about Cheto Vimutti a few days ago. Remember? Freeing from mind. Cheto Vimutti. Remember? Cheto means mind. I had this unshakable liberation of the mind. Let me show you that. Let's go back to our text. I think it should be 16, 17, 16 denotes. You can see here, Cheto Vimutti. Can you see this? Freedom from the mind. And there you can see Akuppa Cheto Vimutti, unshakable liberation of the mind. Now, actually, Akuppa Cheto Vimutti is attained by an Arahant or Sammasambuddha. Sammasambuddha claims that I came to the Cheto Vimutti. There are many Cheto Vimuttis, but this Cheto Vimutti is the highest. Even you you come to a jhana, you may have Cheto. But this one called Akuppa, unshakable. You can see here, unshakable liberation of the mind. Akuppa Cheto. Now these are just jhana Cheto Vimutti. Yeah. And I also said that day, you need to have both Cheto Vimutti and Panya Vimutti. Freedom from the mind, freedom from the wisdom. Can do your homework for that. And then let's go to the text. The Buddha says he came to the Akuppa Cheto, unshakable liberation of mind. I am Antima Jati. This is my last birth. Nattidani Punambahu. Now my existence does not continue. All right, that finishes the section. You can see we started from 65, I think almost, not 65. Yeah, 54, Dhammacakka, tiparivaṭṭa and dvādasākāra. And I told you that Dhammacakka Sutta took its Dhammacakka context from this tiparivaṭṭa dvādasākāra framework in regard to the each noble truth. Next time, if somebody asks you, why do we have a Dhammacakka in the Dhammacakka Sutta? It is because each noble truth was understood by the Sammasambuddha according to the tiparivaṭṭa and dvādasākāra framework. It is a vaṭṭa, it is a view, right? It is not that the Buddha's first discourse is Dhammacakka and it has to be spread out, and that is why it got Dhammacakka. That is a wrong teaching. In the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, the context of Dhammacakka took its name because of this section of the sutta. Once again, here. Yeah, you can see here, Four Noble Truths, 3 perspectives, the Parivatta, 12 aspects. You can see this flyer, Satcha, Kitcha, Katha. All right. Now you might wonder, where is this Satcha, Kitcha, Katha in the text? Is it given in the text? This was an addition to the teaching from other texts. That's why I combine for you to understand. What the Dhammacakka Sutta only gives here in terms of tiparivaṭṭa is that 3 sections, the name tiparivaṭṭa dvādasākāra. Go to certain Pali commentaries to understand. So cross suttas. That's why you didn't see Satcha, Kitcha, Katha in the text itself. But when you say tiparivaṭṭa, 3, dvādasākāra, 12. That is also clear. All right, so today what you learn, once again, I want to confirm is that you learned today how did Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta took its Dhammacakka context. And you know why how it took? It took because Dhammacakka is a framework that was given to Sammasambuddha's understanding of the Four Noble Truths. That is why it took the Dhammacakka. And saving some more information for the next week or maybe following up weeks, I wanted to say this setting in motion the wheel of the Dhamma because of the tiparivaṭṭa dvādasākāra can only be turned by a Sammasambuddha. It is not pertinent relevant to any of us. Because once again, I want to tell you, we are the beneficiaries of this mission. We are the beneficiaries of his mission of setting in motion the Vila Dhamma according to the Tiparivaṭṭa dvādasākāra for each noble truth. All right, any questions? Any questions for today? I hope that you learn these things probably for the first time, maybe for the first time, because these are little, I would say, buried information. Any questions for today? If you have a question, you can come forward and ask the question. Otherwise, we will be doing the transfer somewhere in a minute of time. Pardon me? Okay, we all are learning, so don't worry about it. Yeah, we are learning together. So, all right. So if you have any questions, so please send me a WhatsApp message. I'm willing to answer if you don't have now. One thing I want to tell you is that take some time to think about this information. You don't need to feed right away. Take some time, understand how this works. Dhammacakka comes from tiparivaṭṭa dvādasākāra framework of Samma Sambuddha's understanding of each noble truth. And this particular phenomenon is only specific to a Samma Sambuddha. A lot of people, when I explain this, ask, I don't know, this is unique only to a Samma Sambuddha. Because we are only beneficiaries by following what he understood in practicing a certain meditation or practice. All right, let's transfer good karmas to the departed ones now. May all the good karmas be transferred to all the departed ones who passed away in the name of all of us. If they were reborn in a place of pain, dukkati, may they be able to be reborn in a place of happiness, comfort. If they already in a place of comfort, may they be able to practice more Dhamma and then finally attain the supreme bliss of sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idam me ñāti nang hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo. Idam me ñāti nang hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo. Idam me ñāti nang hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo. May all the good karmas be shared by all the Deva, Naga, Mahitika. May they be well and happy. May they protect all of you, your family, your parents, your siblings, maybe your children, everybody, husband, wife, everybody in your family circles. Not even all of you, everybody in this world. May all they enjoy happiness, happiness that they acquire through good ways, ethical ways, wholesome ways. Also, I want to thank again Buddhist Mahavihar for hosting this way for all of you, these Dhamma discussions, even I'm not in presence there. And may Deva Naga Mahitika bless you for good health, quality of life, prosperity, safety, happiness. Finally, may Deva Naga Mahitika also attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Ittavatacha ammihi sambetang punya sampedang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti sindhya. Ittavatacha ammihi sambetang punya sampedang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti sindhya. Ittavatacha ammihi sambetang punya sampedang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti sindhya. Akasattha ca bhummatta devanaga mahindika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu lokasasanang. Akasattha ca bhummatta devanaga mahindika Punyantang anumuditva chirang rakkhantu desanam akasattha cha bhummata devanata mahindika punyantang anumuditva chirang rakkhantu mang paranti chirang rakkhantu pang sadati. In this sansaric journey till we attain Nibbana, may we be in the company of the Kalyana Mitras. We all are Kalyana Mitras to each and everybody along the Buddhist Kalyana Mitraship. May we be not in the company of the Pava Mitras who can pull us out from the Dhammacha. Thinking thus, we're going to make Imina Punya Kamena Mami Vada Samagamu Satang Samagamu Yavadimbana Pantiya. Finally, may all the good karmas which we've been accumulating today by learning about tiparivaṭṭa dvādasākāra in regard to the Samma Sambuddha's understanding of Four Noble Truths be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana Silis Nichang Vadhapachayine Chataru Dhamma Vadhanti Ayuvanno Sukhang Balang Ayurarugya Sampatti Sakka Sampatti Nivacha Ato Nibbana Sampatti Iminati Samicchati Sadhu Sadhu. That comes to the end of our Sutta discussion today. Wishing you a good night and take care. See you then next Monday at the same time.
Okay, Bhante, thank you for your excellent Dharma sermon and wish you a happy day on behalf of Brother Leslie and Vihara. So, but Bhante will be giving the next week's sermon on the Dharma vision, which is very important on the practice of the Dharma. So, brother and sister, hope to see you again on next week. Wish you well and happy. Thank you. Bye.
Everybody. And I wanted to say that by the end of next month, we are starting our new sutta. Dhammacakka Sutta will be finished probably by the third week, I think, by the third week of November. So we are starting a new sutta. So if anybody wants to join by that time, the newcomers can join too. They can catch up easily too. All right. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Okay, good night.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.